Hello, my name is Dawn from Infinite You Life Coaching, and welcome to today's practice. This will be Vinyasa flow focusing on the back body. So, if you'd like, you can join me at the top of your mat. We'll go ahead and get into a comfortable stance. So, mountain pose, hands, or rather, palms are forward. And as we get into this pose, just as if we were seated, we'll go ahead and ground down and arrive on our mat. So really think about where your feet are touching the mat, just becoming aware of the sensations of that area beneath your big toe, your little toe, that joint area, and then your heel. Maybe envisioning some roots coming out of your feet, grounding down into the earth. Or maybe you're just feeling settled in those 3 points of each foot. Regardless, we feel that our mat and the ground beneath us is supporting us. And maybe start inching your attention up your legs and just noticing maybe where you have tension that you don't need to have, only using the muscles that you need. And then as you come up further, maybe just noticing what your glutes are doing here. There should be balance between the glutes and your leg muscles, so we're not gripping in our bottom. Coming up your spine, envision a string just pulling your spine up. As you pull your spine up, you notice your jaw, your chin drops down just a little bit. Maybe taking an inhale as you bring your shoulders up towards your ears, bringing them back and down as they relax away from your ears. And if you arrived in this practice because you're having some back pain, let's set the intention of this practice healing your back, allowing yourself some comfort in this time of pain, loosening any tight muscles, aligning anything that may have fallen out of alignment. And just bring your attention to your breath here. Maybe noticing how each breath does affect your back, that there's some motion there. And if your eyes were closed or softened, we can flutter them open. We can take an inhale as we inhale our hands up. Exhale, bending from your hip creases and maybe putting your hands on your thighs as you come down, especially if your back might be tight or sore. Coming down to a point that feels comfortable for you. You may want to heel toe your feet just a little bit wider if that's comfortable. And you can bend your knees here. We're going to come into a ragdoll to start. So allowing your hands to grab opposite elbows and allowing your elbows to become heavy. Bending through the hips, not the low back. And just kind of use that inner eye to observe that each vertebrae is now moving the opposite direction. Gravity pulling your head and your shoulders down and you allowing it. There's nothing to hold here. Knees can be as bent as comfortable. Just allowing this heaviness, this decompression of your spine. If it's comfortable, just ever so slightly moving side to side. Continuing to breathe. Then just taking the opposite grip with your hand, so just switching which hand is in front. And seeing if you notice anything. Coming back to that gentle motion, maybe connecting that motion to your breath.
When you're ready, we're going to bend deeper into our knees as we slowly just kind of round our back up. All the weight is in your legs there.
We'll inhale our hands up. Exhale, just swim your hands behind you and interlace your fingers. From here, we're just going to allow our fists to move down towards the floor. Still standing straight up, moving our fists up towards the sky, and just kind of notice the sensation in your back and your shoulders. Lowering your fist and then changing which thumb is forward. Again, allowing your fist to move down towards the floor. The spine is still elongated and tall. Then moving your fists away and feeling that pressure in those upper traps, top of your shoulders. And from here, we're just going to begin bending at the hip crease again, not the lower back, but the hip crease, coming down as low as comfortable, and you can bend your knees here. Allowing your fist to come up and possibly past your head. Continuing to breathe, maybe bringing in some ujjayi breath. So constricting your throat so that you can hear a sound as you breathe. Bending your knees, we'll roll back up. Changing which thumb is on top, and then hip crease, we're going to bend right there. Coming back down, maybe bending your knees. And again, just allowing the fist to be taken by gravity forward and down. From here, we're going to release our hands so that our hands come down to the mat. And you can put your hands in front of you again. Knees can be bent. We're going to leave the left hand on the mat and then bend the left knee as we inhale and twist and bring that right hand up to the sky. So right knee is extended and straight while that left knee is bent. While the knee is bent, you could notice your hand and your foot grounded and your tailbone reaching out behind you, up and back. And then letting that hand float back down with control, straightening the left knee as you bend the right. So this time right hand remains on the mat, right knee is bent, left knee is straight and extended as you bring your left hand up. And gaze can be up to that left fingertip if that's comfortable. And just breathe. Again, maybe bringing in that ujjayi breath. And again, allowing that hand to float down with control. We're going to bend our knees as we step back into a downward facing dog. And here you can have your knees bent as much as possible, but having your fingertips spread wide, the bottom of your fingers, so the knuckles below your fingers are grounding down into the mat. Your armpits are moving and turning in towards each other, and your heels are moving towards the floor. So not necessarily touching, but reaching. Your tailbone is reaching up and away. Your gaze can be at your feet or your thighs, your knees, maybe even your belly button. And then just notice if the pressure in your hands, if you can get the pressure more into the joint of the thumb and the forefinger. And then the last check we're going to do here is for our shoulder blades and see if we can float those shoulder blades a little bit more towards our hands. So really an extension from our wrists all the way to our tailbone. Knees are as bent as necessary. Working with the back here. We'll take 2 more breaths here.
And with control, lifting your heels and floating your knees gently onto the mat. And from here, we're going to come into some cat-cows. So bringing your hands directly under your shoulders and your hips directly above your knees. We're going to inhale as we drop the belly. Let your heart reach forward and up, maybe taking your gaze up on the inhale. Exhale, turning your hips so that they're rotating and allowing your back to reach for the sky, pushing into your hands, even pushing you back a little bit. Then inhale, coming back forward. Exhale, pushing back, chin to chest. One more time. Inhale, allowing your belly to drop, heart to reach forward. And exhale, allowing your hips to change position as you curve your back up towards the sky. From here, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to inhale that hand up. And exhale, allow the hand to come through for thread the needle. And from here, you can extend that left hand forward if that's comfortable. Or bring your hand back closer to your head. You could possibly, if it's in your practice, extend your foot out and then push into your left hand as you open up a little bit here. Maybe taking that top arm up and away. And just notice what you feel. Trying to ground that left foot. And just breathe. And then maybe bring that top hand back down to the mat. Bringing your left leg back in and onto your knee. And we'll inhale that right arm back up to the sky. And exhale, floating it down to the mat. As we then inhale the left hand up to the sky. Exhale, threading the left arm under the right. Maybe extending that right arm forward and parking it here for a bit. Or having your hand in front of your face, extending your right foot out, and allowing yourself to roll open a little bit. Maybe taking that right arm and extending it out to the side. And again, just breathe. And with control, floating that right hand down, returning the right knee back down. We'll inhale the left hand up. Exhale, allow that hand to float down, and then we'll just float our whole body down. So knees are together, big toes are together, sitting our bottom down, and just gently gliding our palms behind us for this restorative child's pose. Allowing your whole body to be heavy here. See if you can let go with every exhale, allowing your back and your body to just soften. When you're ready, we're going to lift our head. And again, just kind of swimming our arms forward. We're going to let our hands come forward as maybe walking your knees a little further apart. Your hips should be directly above your knees. And you could put your forehead down on the mat, or possibly bringing your chin to the mat for this puppy pose. Just breathe. If it feels comfortable, you can start with some very micro little movements side to side and just see how that feels. If your head is on the mat, just rolling your head side to side. Maybe going a little deeper each time if it feels okay. Maybe connecting your breath to your motion. And when you're ready, we're just going to allow our bodies to come forward and onto our bellies, untucking your toes here. And we're going to start just by taking the left arm and putting it forward, out to the side. So taking your left arm at shoulder height, maybe a little bit higher. And then you're going to take your left cheek to the mat. Putting your right hand right next to your face, you're going to bend the right foot. And from here, with control and very slow, just slowly beginning to edge your body weight up and over. Maybe getting a toe down. If that's too much, you can just stack your legs. And just breathe. Trying to soften and breathe into anywhere you feel tension. Just breathe. Again, bringing in that ujjayi breath if that feels good. It's such a wonderful breath to use to help encourage us to let go and relax. And when you're ready, just going to push off the toes, brace yourself with that right hand as you come back to center. This time, putting the right arm out to the side, putting the right cheek onto the mat. You have the left hand in front of your face or by your shoulder. And then bending the left knee, we're just going to push into that left hand and rotate up and over. Again, going as far as your body wants you to. If coming up on, you can just stack your legs. You could even put a leg in front of you. Then and once again, just breathe. Using that ujjayi breath. Comfort in this. And when you're ready, we're just going to gently and softly bring our body back down. And then coming into a sphinx just really quick here. All we're going to do is we're going to cross the left hand underneath the right arm and then reach both hands away from each other. Just breathe. And just feeling where that stretch is. Maybe allowing your hands to creep a little further away from you. And then leaving the left arm where it is and taking your right palm, we're just going to come on by pushing ourselves away from the right side and come onto our backs here. So leaving the right knee bent. So the right knee is up and over. Just coming into this supine twist. Your arms can be out to a T or in a cactus. Gaze can be up to the ceiling or to your right fingertips. And soften with every exhale. Sometimes your body just needs that permission to let go. Trying to use our breath to communicate with our brain that we are safe by taking these long exhales. And when you're ready, just bringing that right arm back, planting the right hand down, extending your leg, and then just coming back into that Sphinx just for a moment. And now we're going to thread the right hand underneath the left. The left will be in front this time. Again, walking those fingertips away from each other and just allowing your body to settle. Notice where you feel the stretch. Maybe walking your fingertips away just a little bit more. And really in any poses, you can do this, but in this pose too, experiment with putting pressure down into your palm. You can always experiment with fingertips and tenting your fingertips on the floor, just to create different sensations. And this time we're going to take the arm in front, so our left hand, putting our palm down on the mat, and then pushing our body onto its side, bending that left knee, and then extending your arms into a T. You might need to walk and adjust your shoulders a little bit. Gaze can be up to the ceiling, or taking your gaze to your left fingertips. And just breathe. Again, giving your body that permission to let go. It's okay to soften. Extending those exhales, awakening that parasympathetic nervous system. And allowing your gaze to come back up to the ceiling. We're actually going to stay on our back here. So just allowing your hips to come back to the center of the mat. Maybe adjusting yourself on your mat so you're more centered. And we're just going to bring our knees towards our chest, but think about bringing your knees down towards your belly. Yeah, a little rock side to side. Giving the lower back a massage by making some circles with your knees together. Go a couple times in one direction and a couple in the other. And then bringing your left knee into your chest while extending your right leg out. So both feet are flexed. That right heel is grounded into the mat. And then just pulling that knee down towards your chest, towards your armpit. And from here, we're going to extend that left leg up to the sky. And if you have a strap here, you could use a strap. You could hold at your thigh, your calf, your ankle. You could also take your 2 peace fingers around your big toe. And we're just going to allow that leg to just take a few to relax. See if we can soften a little bit in this position. So using that Ujjayi breath, extending your exhales, letting go of any muscles that don't need to be held right now.
Maybe bring that foot a little bit deeper. And then without moving your hips or the rest of your body, we're just going to allow that left leg to open up just a little bit. So if your right hip starts pulling up off the floor, then you've gone too far. You're going to come back a little bit. So just holding it there, and you might find that as you hold it, you can go a little deeper, a little deeper. And then bringing that foot back to center, keep holding it exactly how you are, and not going very far, but just bringing that left foot to the right side. Again, that right hip is grounded. We think about making a little space between that left hip joint and your ribs. Maybe being able to go a little bit deeper. You're probably feeling some strong sensations with your IT band. And now threading your right hand and reaching for the opposite side. So whether that's your calf area, your ankle, or that outer blade of your foot, we're going to let go of the foot with the left hand. And then this time allowing your left hip to peel off the floor, and with control, just bringing that foot out to the side. It might be way up in the air, or maybe you can come down to the floor. Again, just breathe. Maybe extending that left arm out, deepening that stretch just a little bit. Maybe a little micro movement in your heel. So small, someone might not even notice you were doing it. And from here, maybe bending the knee a little bit as you come back to center. We'll bring both knees into the chest. And again, let's go ahead and bring those knees down into our abdomen again. Just kind of changing the direction of that tension. We'll take a couple of circles with our knees, 2 in one direction and 2 in the other. And now taking that to the other side, I'm going to have to actually move away from the wall a little bit here. I'm going to extend the left leg, so grounding the left heel, and this time bringing that right leg up to the sky, maybe holding it at your thigh, your calf, your ankle, or using your right hand, your 2 peace fingers. And again, just breathing. Maybe some ujjayi breath, extending your exhales, welcoming that parasympathetic nervous system to take its course here. Relaxing the body. You're in control of how far and what you feel, so it's very safe. Maybe bring your foot a little bit deeper. Continuing to breathe. And with control, not lifting the left hip, just allowing that right foot to move out to the side just a little bit. If that left hip is moving up, you've gone too far, just come on back a little bit. And as you hold it, you might realize you can go a little deeper. Then inhaling back up to center, going past the center line, and again, not very far. You don't have to go far to feel this. Just taking that right foot to the left side, thinking about your right hip moving away from your ribs a little bit. And just breathe into any sensation. And then threading your left hand and grabbing onto that outer edge of your foot or the outer edge of your calf. Again, just going a little deeper here, but then allowing your heel to peel off the floor with control as you start to bring that foot further to the left side. And possibly coming down to the floor. The wall is my stopping point here. But there's plenty to feel, even in that position. And just breathe. Doesn't matter how high you are. It's just breathing into that sensation. The sensation's telling you something's happening. That we are extending our tissues further than they normally go, and that's our only goal. It's actually not to put our foot on the floor. It's just to soften those tissues a little bit. On your next inhale, coming back up. And again, we'll bring both knees into the chest. This time, let's bring our forehead up to the knees. And then releasing your feet down onto the mat. You'll have some choices here. So let's start by bringing our feet, our heels close to our glutes, and we'll come just into a bridge. So inhaling your hips up. So imagining you have a block between your thighs. You could even put one there if you'd like. And then just the sensation of your heels moving away from you. And if this is comfortable, you can get your hands underneath your glutes and then underneath your lower back. You can begin by just bringing your feet up, maybe staying in the bridge, maybe staying here. But if it's within your practice, you can extend your feet into a plow. Maybe your feet dangle. Maybe you have a block under your toes. Or maybe you bring your toes onto the floor. And just breathe. You could always interlace your fingertips, walking your shoulders a little bit underneath you. And just breathe. If you have your fingertips interlaced, you can bring them back to your lower back. And you can either bend your knees and come back into that bent knee position, or just allow your feet to go up to the ceiling for a quick shoulder stand. Then allowing your bottom to lower down onto the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. If you're in the bridge, you're lowering all the way down, bringing our feet down onto the mat. From here, we're going to take our hands, palms down underneath our glutes. It's like your glutes are on your fingertips. And then walking your elbows underneath you for fish pose, allowing your head to be heavy. So your feet are flexed. There's no pressure in your head. It's all in your elbows and your forearms. Allowing your heart to really open here. You can compress your back a little bit more by thinking about energetically dragging your bottom towards your head. Really allowing your heart space to open. And when you're ready, we're just going to untuck the head, walk the elbows from underneath, and drop the head down. We're going to come into one more knees to chest. Maybe a rock side to side. Rotating the knees, going as slow as you'd like. Really bringing that pressure into each point of your back as you do that. And then we're going to squeeze the knees all the way to our chest as we bring our forehead to our knees. And then we're going to take one more pose on each side, which is banana pose. So on your mat, you're going to take your right foot off the mat to the side and then cross the left foot over the top.
And then I push into my elbows as I walk my shoulder blades to that right side. So feet are on the right side, left crossed over right. And then you can take your arms up above you, maybe taking a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. And just breathe. Breathing into the sensation. Just allowing your body to soften. Nothing to hold on to here other than the flexion of your feet and your grip on your wrist. Otherwise, you can soften here. As you soften, you'll notice you feel that stretch all along your side. Taking your inhale into that left side body, allowing your ribs to expand and increase the stretch. And then gently unwinding, coming back to center, just finding neutral again. This time bringing your left foot off the mat, taking your right foot and crossing it over the left. I like to dig my elbows in as I shift my shoulders, but keep my bottom where it is. Extending your arms overhead. This time your left hand gripping your right wrist. Not pulling on it or forcing it. You can experiment with your head position here to see if maybe if I move my head to the left side, I might find a special spot that needs some attention. Again, using your inhale to expand your ribs. Just breathe. Allowing your body to soften where it doesn't need to be held. And allowing your body to unwind. We'll take our feet and hands in opposite directions for a little stretch. And then allowing yourself to come into our final pose, Shavasana. Your feet are heavy and falling away from each other. Your palms are somewhere out to the side, facing the sky. And just allowing our body to be heavy. There's nothing to hold up here. If there's tension, using your exhale, give it permission to soften. Allowing your eyes to be heavy. Maybe allowing your mouth to open a little to soften your jaw. Your tongue can rest just behind your teeth on the roof of your mouth. Your arms and legs are so heavy. Maybe noticing the point where the back of your heart is resting. Making contact with the ground through your ribs and your spine. Noticing the curves in your spine. One in your lower back and one in your neck. And just allowing Shavasana to happen. Coming back to your breath. Noticing how cool the air is as it moves past your nostrils. Coming into your chest. This one
simple action moves a lot of your body on that inhale. Feel all the different parts of you moving just because of your breath. And deepening your breath just a little bit. And feeling the consequences of moving that diaphragm a little deeper. Your body moves so much more. Maybe bring some gentle motion into your fingers, your toes. Maybe taking your hands and your feet side to side, your head side to side. Enjoying that motion. And when you're ready, bring the soles of your feet onto your mat and allowing your body to come to a comfortable side. And just breathe here. Noticing how the sensations in your body change now that we're on our side. Gravity makes us much more aware on our gravity side. When you're ready, with your eyes softened or closed, just pushing up into a comfortable seat. And we'll put our palms up on our thighs or our knees, allowing our spine to be nice and tall. It feels so light right now. Allowing your shoulders, your shoulder blades to be heavy. Maybe noticing your heartbeat. And let's take a few final inhales together. Palms up out to the side. We'll inhale up so our palms touch. Exhale, bringing your hands down to your heart center. Do that one more time. Palms out to the side. Inhaling, a nice big, slow, deep inhale. And slowly exhaling as you bring your hands down so that your thumbs rest on your heart. Maybe bowing your head down to your heart, thanking yourself for showing up today. May your back feel wondrous after our practice. I thank you for spending this time with me. Namaste.